attack when I took it.
Oh, yeah.
So
Let's check
it. Like, I get so nervous.
Yeah. You did it? Yeah. All right.
Thumbs up. Hey everyone, this is Ryan Woldt, your Coffee People host and producer, and unfortunately I mucked up the audio on this interview. We did a great sound check and then a second video check, but somehow the mics got disconnected, and this entire hour, which features a really great conversation with Layton of Prismatic Coffee, was recorded in a working cafe with just my cell phone. I'm posting it because it's a really great interview. I also recorded a second session with Kyle where we covered some different topics, and the mics were working. Check that out on coffeepeoplepodcast.com or our YouTube channel.
Should I? Do we need to restart?
You know, yeah, if you don't, it's all bad spirits.
Oh, no.
Stay in your cup.
Maybe that's why everything in my life goes wrong.
Yeah, so
right.
Cheers. Knock out the spirits.
Ah, okay. That feels so much better.
I feel like I saw like misting going off.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll come up on camera.
We should start the show. Welcome to another episode of the Coffee People Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Woldt. We have another great guest here today.
Kyle Layton from Prismatic Coffee in Salem, Oregon.
That's right. And our show is presented by Roastery Coffee Packaging. Find them online at roastery.com. You can, of course, find our show at Coffee People Podcast. We're going to link to prismatic.coffee or at prismatic.coffee on social media stuff. We're on all the platforms. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Kyle, for being here.
Of course, yeah.
Would you mind just telling me a little bit about, what's your job here? Like, what's your title at Prismatic?
Yeah.
Why am I here?
Yeah. So currently wearing a lot of different hats right now. So there are 3 co-owners of Prismatic, and one of the hats I wear is a partner in this business, as well as I've taken over our coffee program and roasting and green coffee buying, and also use some of my creative side in coffee to make drinks in front of house and educate our team in a way of continually growing individual curiosity of coffee and just getting better at the craft, getting better at hospitality, and yeah, so kind of always doing one of something in those 3 areas each day.
Prismatic was the first coffee shop that I came to before I even moved to Salem, or I knew I was moving to Salem. I'm not full on homer yet, but I will say it gave me homer. I was like, oh, maybe this town will be all right.
Yeah.
I have to ask you something that's very important to me.
Yeah.
It's December now. The show's going to come out December 2025. What's your favorite holiday movie?
Man, I'm such I don't want to say I'm a joyless person, but I don't have super positive memories around holidays in general. But my 2 go-tos of like holiday movies I did really enjoy were Elf and why am I blanking the name of it? A Christmas Tale? Is that what it's called?
Christmas Story?
Story. Yeah, Christmas Story.
There's a lot of drama on my house about Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Namely that I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
And it's one of my wife's favorites.
I mean, yeah,
We've already seen Elf twice this
year. Yeah. I mean, Elf is a classic.
And I watch Die Hard every month just as a rule, just to keep myself balanced at a baseline.
Yeah.
We're drinking coffee today. I said, I just need a simple black coffee. What are we drinking?
This is Colombia Nariño Prosecco. Washed coffee came in at 87.55, and it is a staff pick from Cavoya. And yeah, the notes originally and the quality score drew my eyes to it. It was claiming notes of white peach, strawberry, and guava, which are like three of my favorite flavors. So having all of those on one label, I was like, okay, yeah, we're going for this one.
I was surprised when I just took a drink of this, my first drink on camera here.
Yeah.
As a drip coffee, very smooth. Kind of threw me actually a little bit wrong. Oh shit.
I am like actually struggling to get it to taste this good as a pour over, and usually it's the other way around. Like the pour over completely highlights it, and I don't really know what I did, but I messed around with it.
I've been having this problem at home where I have a coffee and I make just as a batch, and it's pretty great, and then I try to I'm going to really pay attention and give it all my effort. I think I'm killing it with love. I think my pour over is like putting too much attention to it and messing it up. Obviously you're co-owner of this coffee shop, you're involved in management day to day, sourcing and all this stuff. How did you get your start? I mean, what drew you into coffee? Do you have a first coffee memory? How'd you go from there?
Couple things come to mind, and what I really got the gears turning was one barista's extreme generosity to myself as a child that I still think about this moment. So I grew up in Weston, just outside of Portland. It's a very, very wealthy area, but I grew up in a very poor home. So there's always this interesting dichotomy of like, gosh, I remember going over to a friend's house and seeing a staircase. And I'm like, oh, there's more? Like, you can go up. And that was crazy to me. Also, snack pantries. Just like,
I remember that being a sign of wealth, for sure. A whole room just for snacks.
Yeah.
What?
Crazy. But yeah, so, my mother was a traumatic brain injury survivor. And so our family was single income, and it was up to my dad, who was the hardest working person I've ever seen, because he intentionally chose this city for its resources and education, and he really wanted the best for my brother and his future. So he chose, working 2 or 3 jobs just to be there, because, mom had to stay at home and take care of us. But one of his side gigs, he was a sound technician, and we would go to a local cafe called The Perfect Cup. And I mean, you can imagine like the early 2000s cafe, and that is exactly what this place looked like.
Big oversized couch.
Yep.
Sofa.
Yep.
Coffee syrups.
Exactly. I'm there. There are 42 different options of syrup. Shout
out to the syrup people. We'd like to sponsor this show. We'll talk syrup all day.
Yeah. I love syrup. I remember we were there. My dad was doing sound at an open mic night there, and I, up on the counter next to the tip jar, there was like a chip rack, where little bags were clipped on it, and I wanted a bag of Cracker Jacks so badly. I kept begging my mom for it, and we just didn't have the money. But I kept asking and asking, and I watched as that barista reached into the tip jar, put it in the till, and tossed me a bag of Cracker Jacks. And that moment just meant so much to me. And in entering this journey into coffee, like I carry that memory so deeply. Just to be a person to offer great kindness. So, going to this cafe was a weekly thing, and then this innate curiosity of like this massive machine on the counter that would make noise, and steam would come off of it. Like one time, my mom and I shared a latte, and all the noises and steam, and then all of a sudden there was a latte, and I was like, how did that happen?
I would point out that we are in a working coffee shop
yes.
right now. It's open. You can hear the noise in the background. Please don't sue me because they are playing music. Yeah. And we pay for the license of the music being played. So you have those early experiences. And I'm sorry if I cut you off. Please continue. How does that translate then into your future? Going, I kind of want to work at that. It's not just I want to go hang out there.
Yeah.
I want to experience it from that side. I want to be the one giving.
So, also with all of that cafe side, my father was a caterer, and so my direct family, and then one of my best friends in middle school, his dad was the head chef and menu designer at Portland City Grill and Henry's Tavern when that was still around, and a couple other spots. So I was like super confident that I was going to continue my journey into the food world. And my dad was also heavily involved in the Southern Baptist church that we went to, and that place's sole focus was serving others. To actually an unhealthy extent, I learned, ingrained in me from a young age, that the only thing important in this world are other people and not me.
Sure.
Now that does make me one of the best people of hospitality I've ever met in my life, but I've had to really work on that and turn the story around to offer myself the same love that I would give to people walking in here. But yeah, so I was pretty set on being like, I'm going to graduate high school, I'm going to get a job at the local diner, start washing dishes, and work my way up through the kitchen until I can start feeding people. This is probably going to happen a couple of times, little distractions.
I'm surprised they haven't started throwing things.
Yeah, well, it might happen. But yeah, I was certain that food and serving people in that way was what I was going to do. And really one of the big turning points in my journey was when I had one of my brother's really close friends just took like a vacation in Mexico and brought back some street coffee, and he was an earlier adapter of the Chemex. He was an early Chemex guy. They've been around for a while. He wasn't that early, but he made me a pour over in one of the dorms at Portland State University, and it was so good that I recreated my entire personality. Like, this is my thing now. And, you know, my brother has a lot of influence because he caught, you know, we both a little bit caught, you know, some of the momentum and waves that, like, Stumptown was creating. I mean, I wasn't born until 96, so I was not there for early Stumptown, but by 2007, 2008, you know, I was kind of drinking coffee pretty early, but like this idea of specialty coffee, you know, in that Portland area.
Yeah, you were aware of it earlier
Yeah,
than most.
yeah, totally.
I wasn't even aware of specialty coffee until like my late 20s.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, I just happened to be in a good place, and like when I think the tide was kind of turning away from the pretentious era, and which I understand, you know, that new industry, no one knows what they're doing. It's hard to keep people happy when you're doing this new approach, new thing. But yeah, that pour over was just like, I need to know everything I can about this. And I'm the type of person that, like, in high school, I almost didn't graduate because most stuff I don't give a shit about, and I'm not gonna do good in something that I just don't inherently have too much care for. But the classes that were creative-driven, hands-on, art, science, perfect grades. U.S. government class.
So it's interesting you say art science, because for me it's liberal arts.
Yeah,
kind of across the board, and advanced science over here. But coffee is inherently creative and science. I mean, I know that it's development.
Yeah, and you know, I'm, according to my brother, you know, solving very complex equations in my brain all through just like taste and flavor, and I'm like, yeah, all right, you know, I'm just tweaking with temp and grind settings till I'm like, yeah, that's right.
I remember the first time I saw someone make a Chemex, and I just remember thinking, I'm never going to be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
It's too much of a science experiment.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't even until years later that I actually started like brewing coffee for myself.
Yeah.
Getting into it. I know that you had kind of an early mentor or role model as you started to work in coffee.
Yeah.
Now that you're back to this part of the story where you discovered it, you're starting to go down this rabbit hole. It sounds like you get a little bit obsessed with other things that you hear about. What got you into the workforce? What was that path? And how do you kind of credit with making you feel like this is something you can do?
Yeah. Two people, one main person. So at one point in 2016 or so, I was living with 12 other guys in one house.
It's too many guys.
It's too many guys.
Too many.
Too many. We had 3 floors. Still too many guys.
Yeah.
But I had a captive audience to feed coffee to. So I bought a little Mr. Coffee espresso machine. It was like $89. It was a lot of money to me at the time.
A lot of money to me now.
Yeah, right? It was a lot. But I really started diving into coffee at that point. I would even buy green coffee from Sweet Marea's and roast it in a popcorn popper. Then I would make my own syrups, and it just brought me so much joy to serve my friends a product where, like, you know, my hands were involved in every piece of it from start to finish, and I just loved that. And my roommate, there was like one mature person there, and then all of us other degenerate college boys. But we had a house dad, and his name is David Mitchell. He still lives here in town. And I credit him a lot in getting my journey really going, because he would just he helped guide me onto just like how to get the path started. And it started off with the advice of just like do one thing every day that puts you closer in that direction. And even if it's teeny tiny, you know, reading an article or starting a new book or diving further into your curiosity, whatever it is, over the years those things will add up and get you closer. And he also just very practically was like, hey, I'll help you put together a resume and then I'll drive you around to drop it off because you just need to do this.
Sounds simple, but it's a big deal.
Yes. So he was just like, apply, do it. And so I had, at that time, you know, I had David, and then I had like a life mentor, spiritual advisor kind of guy, and I got the heck out of my parents' house as soon as I could. I moved to Salem at 18, 17 I think it was still. Had just graduated. Me and my roommates didn't have cars or jobs, but we ended up getting an apartment from, you know, our parents co-signing a place. We're here, you know, we did it, we made it through. Not great idea to just like jump ship, but it worked out for me. Passion can go a long way, and hard work, but anyway, self-derailing.
I was talking about kind of getting into your first job, putting out an application. I know that you ended up in, I believe, a coffee program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so prior to that rabbit trail, my life mentor at the time, you know, I was like, what do I do? This is my first time out of the house. Like, I don't know. I don't have skills. I barely know how to feed myself, all that stuff. But it was important for me to have my work be impactful. And I wanted it to be something I care about, something that's creative. And so he shared with me, you know, something along the lines of a lot of people find their calling by taking, you know, what you're most passionate about and crossing it with a need in the world.
Sure.
And so, you know, I was kind of chewing on those words over the next couple of weeks, and I'm like, well, the thing I care most about right now is coffee, and I think people need space, and they need people, and they need to be cared for. All things that I felt like, you know, I could naturally offer given my upbringing. You know, that stuff became very natural for me. So I was like, all right, it's coffee. So, I dropped off a couple of resumes, and the first people to get back to me was Tiffany Wolgen, who is a local legend and the most impactful person to my journey of growth and getting me here. They are the face of the business is coffee, but behind the scenes they are a youth development program. So
what's the name of it?
Icebox. Yeah, Icebox, and then they have a sister cafe called Isaac's. Both of them are downtown, just on the other sides of downtown in Salem. You can do that successfully because we're not oversaturated with coffee yet. Tiffany, really since like day one, like once I figured out that coffee was my thing, I just started telling people that what I wanted to do with my life was open up a coffee shop. And a lot of that was just my own pride, feeling like I need to have an answer for people when they're like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And so I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going to do something that sounds really cool in my brain, own a cafe. And so, getting that job there from like day one, I was like, this is my goal. I want a coffee shop of my own one day. And then like the next 7 years of my life, Tiffany very much became a mother figure in my life and would just guide me in. So she's surrounded by like many prominent business owners in town and just has so many avenues of information and guidance, and she just ended up being the perfect person for me to meet, because her story and goal are to build people up and send them out, and she is directly tied to a majority of coffee in this city, where students of hers who went through the program learned everything they could from her before moving on. So our relationship was just what I needed. I was like, hey, I'm trying to learn this, and then that opportunity was always given with a little bit of tough love mixed in, being like, hey, you are absolutely exceeding at this, and this, but like, if you really want to lock this down and go further, which I know you do, then you need to work on this. And so, yeah, it was like 7 years of that until, the opportunity to start this place happened, and I had felt, kind of like at a plateau of sorts, because for a while my biggest goal was to become like a latte art world champion. Like that was the thing. Like I wanted the title. I wanted to like just be like that latte art guy, and no, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. You were competing. Yes, yeah. I made it to the finals twice, and my priorities changed. A place to like express my creativity and my own approach to roasting coffee and making drinks, and like the idea of building people up so they could run further than I could was way cooler than any title to me that I could ever receive.
That's something I want to talk about. Let's take a quick break, and be right back.
Yeah, we're back.
We finished. You kind of were saying 7 years of kind of learning and training, and shout out to Mike Fox and Tiffany Bullshit. You get the opportunity to open a coffee shop of your own, or a cart, or a truck. How did that happen? And what made you know this is the right one?
Yeah, there.
I'm assuming.
There was totally in anything like that, just a lot of risk, and I was, I think in like 2018 or 2019, I went to a Cup of Excellence cupping, and I got to meet Stephen Vick, who's still, I believe, the head judge of the competition, and I was able to pull him aside for a minute and just be like, hey, what advice would you give somebody who like wants to like open a cafe or have coffee be their career? And he said something along the lines of like, well, he asked me, how old are you? And I think I was 22 at the time, and he's like, oh, you have so much time. He said, just any opportunity you get, say yes and keep learning. And by the time you're 25, you'll be so much further down the path. And
yeah, so he says that you'll be so much further down the road.
Yeah, and which was an impactful thought and made me comfortable just saying yes and taking the risk. And even if I am underqualified, take whatever I can get my hands on and learn. Really, above all, like one of my favorite things that I love about myself is I just love learning, and I'm okay with being bad at stuff until I'm not, which can be very frustrating sometimes. So my partners, Evan and Ariel, they started Prismatic, while I was still working at Isaac's, and they had just built out the coffee cart and teased it on Instagram. And me being a coffee guy, I just DM'd them. I'm like, yo, this is awesome. Can I help promote you guys, or come check this thing out? And they said yes. And what I didn't realize, my business partner Ariel, I have been serving coffee to him and his family for years, and I didn't really know that I knew he was a coffee guy, but I didn't know that he was starting this whole thing. And kind of the way I operated at Isaac's, I was always the barista that had a secret little something, and if I knew you were really into that specialty coffee stuff, I'd be like, I got a little pour over for you, or ooh, you need to try this on espresso. And Ariel was one of those customers, so we set up a meeting time, and I went to check out the trailer, and Ariel was standing in there, and I'm like, oh, no way, it's you. It's you. And I don't even know exactly what that I don't remember exactly what that first conversation looked like, but there was just this opportunity presented. I'm like, do you guys need help, or do you want a barista or something? And then we just continued hanging out and meeting up until it was I definitely was putting my best foot forward and be like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, and showing that hey, I may be a little piece of the puzzle here that could be helpful or something, and it worked. And they graciously offered me a slice of the company, and I think that they would say, well, and they have said, that my heart here has pushed this thing way further than I would have imagined, even as we are about 11 months old now of the cafe being open.
Which is crazy to me, because I would have been here right after it opened almost.
Yeah.
But I assumed it had been established for you.
Yeah. That's great. That's encouraging to hear. If you hang out by the bar and listen to us, then you'll quickly know that we have no idea how to do any of this.
That was good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
No, but the progress has been great. You know.
How would you describe this place? And I'll put some photos and video up of the space. But you know, the motto I read on the website: "Coffee should transcend exclusive culture," which I get from you as the exclusive. You want it to be exclusive, but how does this space reflect that?
Yeah, totally. You know, I have seen in some parts of my own journey and growth, just barriers, in certain areas. In fact, like one of the most stark instances was when my curiosity for coffee was, growing when I was still in the Portland area. I remember asking a question to a barista at Hart Coffee. I love Hart Coffee, but the barista turned and walked away, and I was like, okay, all right. There's some secrecy in this industry, and that also, fell on the consumer base, and I think is a thing that is still talked about or noticed, today, of like, coffee is pretentious, and I never want to have that, have this place be, that spot, because I think it's bad energy, it's bad vibes, and also, like, how dare you not share what they're doing when it's not even your products, really. Like, yes, we're roasting it and selling it and putting our name on it, but it came from so-and-so at origin and their family, and I think hiding that story is criminal, like,
I hear from a lot of my guests that they feel there's a barrier, or they ran into barriers, and it's why they want to get on the other side. And I always wonder, when are we going to get to a point where people aren't running into barriers anymore? But then I also wonder, if somebody doesn't hit a barrier, what will motivate them to jump, try to go over? I'm somebody who needs to run into something a million times because I have to. Something inside me says, gotta get to the other side. Not in a grass is greener sort of way, to show that I can do it to myself. It's such an interesting thing. The space that you guys have built is very comfortable. When I came in here, and I just want to relay this real quickly, I I did this little thing here with the show, and I asked a question. I think we talked for like half an hour. I'm pretty sure it was you, actually. And then you were like, and you did that thing you just described. You're like, we gotta try this shot of espresso. And I'm like, well, I gotta drive this 10 hours. Let's do this. And it's been like that every time I come in here. I'm wondering, first of all, do your employees know that you're involved with it?
My employees do,
But I'm gonna say the customers don't. I want to say it so that I didn't think you were gonna bring it up.
No, I won't.
Even though this program is relatively young, you were voted best of Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I'm in my head about saying Willamette. It's like one of those things where it's like a mental tick now. I screw it up. As I've learned about the Willamette Valley. What did it mean to be recognized in that way? It's not like this is young, but it's not like your journey's there.
Correct, getting stuff like that is, it's always a little bit of a internal battle of like, can I actually let myself feel that? Feel, being good about it, winning that award, because it was so humble, man. Like, never met anyone more humble. No, it's encouraging and nice, but there's just this like uncomfiness about it, because I'm just doing what I love, and I'm not concerned with the awards and stuff, and it's hard to
And it's like you said you're doing this. This is giving me rage.
Yeah.
I just have.
I have plenty of joy. If you sit me down and say, talk good about yourself for an hour, I'll pass out.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this then. If it's not awards, how do you define success in this career and maybe just in your personal life?
I think it's, for me, the mark is, can I use what I've learned to get other people to where they like this morning. Much like I'm just all growth and like transitionary mindset. Much like somebody helped me get here. What's the success for me is, can I bring in people who also want to do something similar, and can I help them get back there? That's a success for me. I love that our coffee has been noticed, and I've won awards for it. But yeah, that's good. That's good to have. Because I can talk about it and be like, hey, it's actually good. Like people voted for it. But for me, it's things like barista Caleb. He saw me. He was watching a live stream of a latte art throwdown when I was in LA, and he watched me win a latte art throwdown in LA. He was in Arizona, and he saw this event happen, and he was like, that's it. That's the thing I want to do. And then his family just ends up moving here to Salem, and he walks in and applies to the cafe, and he's just been my little buddy on the journey here, and his goal was to be able to compete in the Latte Art World Championship Open, the Coffee Fest one, and he made that happen. And there's still so much more that he wants to do. I'll be like, I'll try to help get you there as much as I can. That's it. For me, at the end of my day, end of my life, the money is not going to be here because I have a coffee shop, and
There's no money?
Yeah, it's.
See, and I was thinking the other way.
Yeah.
Money.
No, your employees make it.
There's. I need to be an employee.
Yes. Yeah.
I've got a question. So we do this segment called Coffee Smarter.
Yeah.
On behalf of Roastery.
Yeah. Shout out to Roastery. Both of these.
Yeah, the tube and the bag. I put those out. One, this is what we're drinking, and two, I just love this tube.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you about it a little bit later.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're talking about, somebody saw you doing latte art. They were inspired. They wanted to do it as well. How do you teach latte art? What advice would you give to somebody? Let's say there's a barista watching this, and they're like, oh, you know what? I do latte art. I wish I could be as good enough to compete.
Yeah.
What advice do you give somebody without being able to move their hands and show them Steve on, right? To say this is how you improve.
Yeah. Thankfully, in the era of education that we are in now, this it didn't used to be the case. It used to be like, come over and I'll show you. But now, with educators like Lance Hedrick, I mean Lance, just like a couple of weeks ago, released like a massive PDF freely of like all of his education resources, which is just incredible. Because I mean that stuff, to pay for it as a barista can be a big wall. But I think one of my favorite videos that I still show people, Chris Baca, Co-Owner of Coffee, has a milk texture in under 2 minutes video that just nails it. But yeah, so I guess, going back to your question, the foundation of it is, a good shot and properly steamed milk. And those two things, getting that foundation nailed out, is going to improve your art drastically. Like,
the first thing you said, a good shot. So if I have crappy coffee, it's not going to lead to good latte art. That actually impacts the end of it.
Yes. And for specifically latte art reasons, leaning to a medium dark roast, something that is going to have a more profound crema, is going to help in the instance of latte art, because that is directly your canvas that you're painting. Yeah. Now I'm totally a crema hater. I think crema's terrible tasting. But if you want, I don't like it.
You heard it here?
Yeah. Hot take. So I would say, one outside of any of like the actions you can do, just remind yourself that it's okay to suck, and it's okay to be bad at something. I was really bad for a long time before I got to understand it, and for me, it was such a mystery for a long time of like, what the heck do you actually do, and what is actually happening to get latte art? And it took me a long time. There was no direct video explaining like how it happens or really what it is until I was already knew what I was doing. So for me, in the way I learned, like, I had to think of latte art in this window of you're just separating like layers of density. So foam, microfoam, once you achieve it with steamed milk, that's going to float up to the top. And then you are pouring latte art in a way where you are sending your looser unaerated milk down to the bottom and letting the foam float up top. And once I realized like that was what it was, what I was doing, that opened up a lot of understanding for me. So,
I mean, you're stepping it into the space. When I learned latte art, which I never learned outside of college for the most part, I think, I'm just going to say this, I would steam my milk, tap it, and I realize now, getting rid of the bad traits. That's all it was. It had nothing to do. I know that we can keep talking for hours. We probably will at some point. We can. There's so much more to the story, and since I live here now, I'm going to come and ask all the time. But what did we miss today that you wanted people to know? Is there anything that you came into this meeting I really wish we could share this either about yourself or about Prismatic Coffee?
I think further, of like about this space, like, yes, we want to bring a modern specialty coffee movement to Salem and like Like, we are very excited to keep pushing the craft forward, but also this place was meant to be, in my view, a transitionary spot. So like, maybe you find us and you're the specialty coffee nerd, like, cool, I've got you covered, but like, I also want to see you keep your eyes up at that seasonal menu, and I want to see you drink a really yummy sweet drink. And you know, the inverse is true. Like, if you're, you know, the more average coffee consumer, like latte drinker, I'm going to build up a relationship with you till you're coming in and getting 4 shots of espresso and going on your way. So that, you know, was definitely my goal of this place. Just have people all over the menu, you know, and start out here, end up here, vice versa. And I don't know if that's an important thing, but I think it's, yeah,
coffee flavor is a journey.
Yeah.
I've told this story before, but like, the first time I ever had coffee, like legitimate first cup, the baristas got into an argument almost like this night over what I should drink.
Yeah.
The only thing they agreed on was drink black coffee until you know what you like, so you can taste it all.
Yeah.
But I get obsessive and I stuck with that for like 10 years before moving on to anything else.
Yeah.
And even now, it's a struggle for me to walk into a shop and order a drink off the specialty menu, unless it's the second or the third thing I'm ordering. Because I want to try more.
Right.
But I've also kind of come to this realization that it doesn't make you a lesser coffee drinker if you're not drinking a black coffee or a straight shot.
Yeah.
It just means you're letting yourself experience it.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
Right. And I want, I want everyone to have that full experience. And I mean, I'm sitting here as that guy who also just drinks black coffee. There's more health reasons now. And I mean, filtered coffee is king. It's so good.
I think that answers my question. What do you drink when you go to a coffee shop?
If the cafe uses half and half in their cortados, I might try that out because I definitely care about knowing if, you know, the crew can texture milk well. But I also want to taste the product. And so cortados are great in between for that. Sometimes I'll do like the old school 1-in-1, you know, I just do the one shot and then macchiato in the other just to get a sense for the texturing and also how does your coffee pair with milk. I've got identifiers. When I walk into a new cafe, I'm looking at your hopper, and if it's like matte and oil, we're not doing it. Cappuccino sizes. If it's not a 6 ounce,
32 ounces.
Yeah, it's proper. I actually want 32 ounces of foam.
Yeah.
Dry, hot.
I appreciate you spending this time with me, not just today, I think I mentioned it before, but every time I've come in here, you've been very welcoming and open and just sit talk about coffee and what do you do about the stuff we're serving. This is what we're drinking today, which just I drove was really lovely. I want to mention that Prismatic has a second location coming.
Yes.
For the time being, the occasional truck out there.
So it is currently set up at where the next location is going to be, and then open Friday, Saturday, and Sundays from 7 a.m. to 1. And then, we're going into it with Ocean Construction. They built most of the homes in the area, and they are building a multi-use space in the middle of that community, which we will eventually hop into for our second cafe.
And I mentioned this cafe is in a community critical pre-K. And there's like an acre of things around it. There's this little cellar store, a shared garden space, and everyone kind of walks past this every day.
Yeah.
One of the things that I learned about it when I first came in, even though it was a little confusing, I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Yeah.
You can come here if you find it. Prismatic.coffee.com. At prismatic.coffee on the social medias. I just want to thank everyone for watching or listening to the show. This is our last episode of season 15. It's the end of 2025. I think it's been a long year. And if it wasn't for great coffee and conversations like this, I probably wouldn't have been as excited about 2026.
Yes, yeah.
But I am. If you are listening or watching, please go to our website, coffeepeoplepodcast.com. Like, subscribe, give us the stars. All that stuff matters to the people that support the show. It helps other people find us. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you are tipping your baristas and drinking good coffee.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah.
This is kind of our show.
Yeah, no, it's empty.
Mine's empty.
Don't let us fool you.